don't you just know that is the man inside the Tic Tac? It really is.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to Alien Addict on a fine and hair-bending evening, because I've got the most bendiest hair on this beard. Strange intro. Without further ado, I'll bring on the guests that are here right now, but we have got more guests. I think there's about six. There was going to be 7 people in this chat tonight, including myself. There's going to be 6 that I have confirmed. Proof? Welcome to the show, Kyle. How you doing, mate?
Very good, as always, Ollie. How you been, brother?
I'm good, mate. All the better for seeing you.
Good, good.
And Lee, the beard's growing back.
A beard's growing back, hair's growing back, and you're a twat.
Why?
Because
you said that too early. You could have left the word twat till at least a minute into the video. Now it's demonetized. You owe me money.
Start again.
Are we live? I can't start again. It's live.
Why am I around to me? Because you said blue beam to me.
Oh yeah, I didn't know, but you wouldn't get no. I'm waiting for you to get your blue beam. We can still do blue beam.
I thought,
Do you actually think the title of this video, what is inside the Tic Tac? Do you actually think we've got any answers for that tonight? It's just I just wanted to put Stephen in it.
It's a lovely photograph.
I know. I love with the Simpson body.
What's happened to his fucking legs though inside that?
Right.
Oh, bastard.
It's like the Tatterus or whatever it is, fucking Doctor Who's phone booth, man.
It is. Maybe it is the TARDIS. Maybe the Tic Tac is like the TARDIS inside.
It's gotta be.
We've got Rich. He's running late. His computer will not turn on right now, which is he's got a show tonight, so I hope he can turn it on.
I hope it gets it on. Yeah.
I did tell him to join on the phone. Hopefully, we've got Dark Skies joining us tonight. The UFO Bros, the UFO Bros. Apparently, they've got something on that's come up last minute, so they cannot join. I think it's because they realized that Rich was on the show, and they thought that they might get into a big fight with him. But Rich was ready for that, you know. He was ready to just make some love in a
rich kind of way.
In a rich way, yeah.
Rich is ready to fight Lou. Of course, he's going to argue about him.
Yes, he is. Has Lou actually ever responded to that?
No, of course not.
No.
I wouldn't think so.
That would have been great, though.
And it's funny because Third Phase of Moon is always going off about how they're like, hey, we don't ever say anything about Lou. You know, we want to get them on the show, and you know, like that. They're always, you know, saying, "Hey, we don't, you know, we're never saying." And it's true. They on their show, you know, they're never saying anything, you know. But you know, all the people that like that work with them, you know, do like the, you know, Rich does with the Third Phase of Moon report and stuff like that. That leads back to them, you know. So there's no doubt in my mind that Luz realizes this and is, you know, obviously this is why he's not going to, you know, want to come on there, just because it's like, well, you know, you guys might not say it, but you know, all these people that work, you know, with you or whatever are saying shit. So, you know, it'd probably just be a hit piece anyway. So I could understand where, you know, his point of view on not, you know, coming on there, which kind of sucks, because I'd like to see him come on somebody's channel. But if he thinks he's just going to be attacked the whole time, you know, why would he do it? You know, I'd like to see him go on Rich's channel and talk to him, you know, but if he thinks that Rich is just going to attack him the whole time, then, you know,
I don't think he would. I honestly don't.
I don't think he would either. No, I don't think if he came on Rich's channel, I think Rich and him would have a decent conversation. I don't think Rich would go off on him, you know, but I don't think he realizes that. you know. But I mean, I know Rich. I know how Rich is, and Rich is really is a cool guy. He can definitely be a dick, and sometimes he can go too far with it, you know. But for the most part, you know, he's a cool cat, man. And you know, you show him respect, he'll show you respect. And I think Lou's missing out because I think it'd be a cool conversation to see, you know, him come on Rich's show. And I think you know, Rich would be, you know, cordially about it. You know, I think he'd be really cool to him, you know.
You're definitely right about that. I mean, most riches can be a dick. You know, it's either rich or a dick, whatever you want to be called.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that works. Is it my dyslexia or? But how do you get dick from rich?
I don't know, but they do. You know, I
how
never
that
understood that.
Maybe it all started. Oh, speaking of dick, we've got Rich Northwood in the house, my good friend. But maybe Rich Northwood, can you explain why people are called Dick if the name's Rich? I'm just making up some time, Kyle. That's all. Before the other guests join.
Okay.
Selfish bastards. I've sent you the link, people.
Let's get into it. You said the title of the show is What's Inside the Tic Tac, right?
That is the title of the show. Is that the content of the show? Probably not, but
it never is. Have you ever stuck to the fucking title of the show like throughout a show? Like that shit just changes as you go, you know.
Let's go with it. Hypothesize this. You know what, Kyle? What's inside the Tic Tac?
So like the Tic Tac that Captain Fravier encountered, that he chased in his F-18 or whatever. I think it's possible something like that may contain a pilot, maybe. But for, you know, I think I mean, like that's a possibility, but I think it's more likely that most UFOs will probably, maybe 90% of them are probably, it's probably just instruments to collect data and you know, just record information to be sent back to their homeworld or whatever. Like who's ever controlling the Tic Tac is a way of them to you know, to obtain data and information, just like all of our probes that we send to other planets and shit like that. Basically the same concept, just far more advanced than what we have. You know,
welcome to the show. Thanks for the unicorn, my friend Lee. But Kyle, if that's the case, I mean, they do talk about, you know, if this thing had a human being in it, it would be literally mush on the side from how that moved. So how would?
The inertia alone, you know, just the maneuvers that the Tic Tac could perform, just the inertia alone would, you know, turn any human inside of it to jelly. Obviously, that's not happening. So there's something that's, you know, dampening the inertia. So it's not building up any kind of kinetic energy. And you know, most likely, I would have to agree with like Bob Lazar saying that the craft can produce its own gravitational field, because that will help answer a bunch of, you know, questions to why these things can move the way they do without a pilot, you know, turning into mush, or there simply is no pilot and the instruments could be created in such a way that they won't be destroyed, but, you know, maybe they're made out of some kind of adamantium. I don't fucking know.
Jennifer, that you're right. The Tic Tac does resemble the mouse of a computer. My Apple computer, it does look like that. Thank you for the £5, Jennifer. How strange! It's just there as a prop, ready. So this is the one thing that I can't seem to get my head around. But I was never good at school, Kyle, at all. And I don't know about you, Lee, but I don't know if you can get your head around this either. When we're looking at the videos, and there's a lot of channels that go, holy shit, this is amazing from what they're seeing. But when I'm looking at it, and probably the average Joe that's looking at this, what is so special about this footage just from a visual? Somebody that knows the shit. Okay.
It's UFO porn, isn't it? It's UFO porn. That's the thing. Because realistically, it's one of those situations like a Rorschach test where you're seeing what you want to see in it.
Yeah, but exactly. Other than
take the backstory away, there's nothing exceptional about what you're looking at. You know, you don't really know what it is. You don't really know if there's anything. I mean, even the Fravor stuff, you know, about it disappearing and reappearing. You're talking about an account there from someone, a very trustworthy account because of what he does, but still, just we don't have video of it materializing somewhere, where they were supposed to be.
I think I'm sorry. I think the average person looks at it and is just not impressed with the footage. I think just like the average person, when they look at it, is just not impressed with any of the footage, because none of it, without like the average Joe doesn't really see how spectacular it actually is, because it really is spectacular, and if you understand what's going on in the video, and when you have a lot context to add to it, it really does show you how incredible the video is, but it's rare for just the average person to bring that in and say, oh, okay, well, because it's doing this or because it's doing that, this means this is how exceptional this vehicle actually is. There he is.
I'm kidding.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Okay?
Again, we can hear you fine, mate. So Kyle is just telling us why the it is such exceptional footage, which I've always been interested in, but I've never got it. I've never got the hairs on end from that footage, other than what Lee's just said there, without the backstory and what everybody's telling us, the specialists. It ain't. I don't get a bonk on from it,
Well, when you see what let's take the Tic Tac video for instance. There's one part in it where the camera looks like it's trying to lock back onto the Tic Tac, but what the craft is doing is actually making a maneuver, and the FLIR system is just attempting to track it and lock back onto it. So it does a crazy little maneuver, but people don't realize that. They look at it and think, oh, it's like the camera is shaking. It's not. It's that's on a gimbal. It's set up to so it doesn't, you don't see the shakes or whatever, just like a handheld gimbal or whatever. So what you're seeing is actually the craft doing this crazy little maneuver, and then after that you see the craft just take off, but it's coming from a standstill. It's perfectly standing still, and then it zips off so fast, in fact, that it breaks the lock of the tracking system.
Yeah.
And so from doing that in the air, there's everything that we have is, if it was floating in air, hovering, and wanted to take off faster, I mean, we don't have anything that can do that. A helicopter, a Harrier jet, anything, it'll take time to build up and go hyper. This goes like instantly. It starts traveling at hypersonic speeds. It's so fast that it breaks the tracking system, for the computer. So I mean, it doesn't look like much, but when you understand the context of everything, then you see how incredible it actually is.
So here's my problem with it now. Yeah. Why all of a sudden do, for want of better words, like conspiracy theorists, why do we trust the government about something? And that's what I don't get. Why we've spent our entire lives from like conspiracy or subject after subject, looking at the government as the suppressors of information, the ones covering it up. But all of a sudden, just because they're saying what they want us to, what we want to hear, we believe it.
Oh, I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
well, I mean, I would put UFOs in the category of conspiracy theory.
See, I actually, I wouldn't, only because I personally had experiences with UFOs, so I know for a fact that the UFO exists, you know.
Yeah.
But as for like conspiracy theories, I need evidence, I need proof, and so I don't really get into conspiracy theories. I understand how the UFO can be categorized as that, and that's, you know, something that really bothers me. And I've been trying to fight against for a long time. In fact, ever since I started this channel, I've been arguing against that fact that it needs to be taken more scientifically and not just left to the fringes of science and pseudoscience. That needs to be taken seriously and studied seriously, as opposed to, you know, a conspiracy theory of, you know, people go, oh, it's the Anunnaki from Nibiru, you know.
Yeah, but it's very fundamental element. If we think that the government know more about UFOs than they're telling us, that in itself is a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy of silence, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, but that's to say the government knows more. I mean, I think the government, there might be, you know, small factions of it that have a little bit of information, but I think people who study UFOs probably know more than the people in the government. You know, I don't think like the people in the government have access to information like conspiracy theorists think they do. I think they're probably in the dark a lot more than people like us who actually research it and understand the, you know, subject from a bunch of different levels, as opposed to what they're doing. It's so compartmentalized that they might only be privy to, you know, certain things, and so they don't have all the information, and they just don't research it like we do. It's so, especially experiencers, people who've actually had experience with UFOs can you know, judge stuff on a different level.
But they have their own pilots, you know, that see this stuff that they interview as witnesses. So they've got witnesses. They just don't have the public witness, but they'd rather get it from their own kind.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You know,
so we do know a little more than they do, I think.
I think so. Yes, especially like, you know, people who've had personal experiences or, you know, encounters with UFOs and on different levels. I think because we research it, as we go so in depth with it, and we want to try to study everything as far back of the history of UFOs to modern days. And when you have encounters in the Navy or Air Force, that those people, the pilot might see it, report it, but that's as far as he goes for investigating UFOs. The guy who's actually taken the information, may have never seen a UFO before, and he's just taking that information, that report of it, and so it's like they're not getting the whole story, each one of them. It's like the pilot, he may only report that one UFO, and that's his only dealings with the experience of UFOs. Yeah.
Unless the government are the UFOs. Dun, dun, dun.
Unless they are the UFOs, correct.
Holy smokes. Can you imagine if the whole thing was just a government psyop thing just to test everybody for 77 years?
Right.
I agree with Jennifer. Nobody is thinking outside the box, but I don't think nobody in ufology is thinking outside the box. Everybody keeps thinking little green men, or it's yours. You know, it's ours. It's our own tech. Could become something completely different that's been here for a very fucking long time, that actually belongs here.
Could be a more advanced species.
Right.
Yeah. You know, say a species developed, you know, millions of years ago that were hyper intelligent like Homo sapiens, and decided that their best solution was to live off a planet or under the ocean or something, and their population is actually very small, but they're very advanced, and you know,
they live long.
Yeah, maybe they live a couple 100,000 years. Who knows?
Dude, can you imagine?
It could all just be me fucking with you, you know. God.
It could be.
Hence alien addict. Yeah, thanks a lot. 18 years. Calgon, take me away. But you know, the crafts do look man-made somewhat, except for the Tic Tac, but it still looks like it's made out of our materials here on Earth to me. There he is, man. It's amazing. It does look just like a Tic Tac.
It is a Tic Tac.
You know, David Gravier had a good way of describing it. He said, as a better way of describing what the Tic Tac looks like, instead of comparing it to a Tic Tac, he said it looked like a giant propane tank.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
like, that's really interesting. I'm like, that gives you a better visual understanding of it. He's like, that's exactly what it looked like. I mean, you know, so how do you make one of those fly unless it's a dirigible? But you couldn't make a really small one move that fast. So
I don't know.
If any case that stands out for the Tic Tac, it's Lonnie Zamora with the thing
the
that
police
landed,
officer,
and it had the symbol on the side.
yeah,
It,
that's an interesting case.
yeah, and it that looked like the egg. Did you describe it as an egg?
Yeah.
Yeah,
An egg, yeah. Me and Osvaldo Franco. Oz, you're welcome to join the channel at any point, mate. If you know, Lee, believe it. We've just been talking about Lee. You do love Oz, don't you?
100%.
Exactly. See, how genuine was that?
and the Tic Tac has been cited throughout history for people experiencing UFOs. This is not a new phenomenon. This has been around
We know
forever.
that, Kyle. I discovered it in the painting.
Right there.
I've actually been looking into that a little bit, and a good friend of mine has been going through it with a Hobber Mallow, if he is watching this, has gone through that painting with a fine-tooth comb and found another 4 of these Tic Tacs, exactly the same.
Are they in strategic places, like in between two?
So I don't have the. They're above the painting, and
Yeah.
I think it could be something to do with the building. If I'm not,
Most likely. But
Yeah, I
you
think-
never know.
I think he showed me a picture of it. And if you zoom into the painting, you can see more of them. Not 100% something to do with the building, but they look exactly the same size, everything. I don't know what they are though.
Well, it would be interesting if it was the Tic Tac and we're seeing it now, well, since 2004. Well, actually throughout history, but now being made public. Yeah, it would be weird if that was it, because God created man in his own image, and there's a Tic Tac in the background watching what he made in his own image all the time. See, I have a theory we've all been abducted.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Just like the Matrix, we're all marked, tagged, and ready to go.
You know.
Yeah, Lee, you couldn't make your own show. This was dedicated. It was your finding.
Jesus.
Oh, the ET is God.
It was your
Jesus.
theory about
Yeah.
2 years ago that you told me, which is genius.
Have you watched it? Have you watched it since?
I have watched it since, and you're right. ET is Jesus.
You cried, right?
Didn't everybody?
Isn't that amazing the way he comes out of that van and they make him look like Jesus, man?
That is
Standing, he puts his
interesting.
arms out and everything.
That's really cool.
But even like the mother turned against him would be the Judas character. You know, he's got the disciples around
It
him.
is.
It's a retelling of the story of Jesus Christ, 100%.
Died and rose again.
Yeah, apart from the fact, instead of being in a cave, he was in a tank and a
In
bathroom.
a Tic Tac. He was in a Tic Tac.
If you look up above, ET's head on the left-hand side, there appears to be a little Tic Tac right above his head.
That's a rectangle. See, Jesus on the right is what we have here with Lee. Your little Jesus emblem, your halo.
Oh, I thought you were calling Lee Jesus.
He's calling him Jesus.
Legis.
Oh man,
I like
you're
that.
Legis.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
That'd be my Roman name.
And I'm Dick. Shut up.
You could be Dick Maximus, and that's a porn name.
Dude, you are the best friend
Dick
ever.
Maximus.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
So, Rich, though, I mean, we do all believe that there is these objects in the sky. You've witnessed them. I know Lee's witnessed them. I know Kyle's witnessed them. Yeah, I've seen some stuff. Don't know what I've seen, but I've seen some weird stuff. Nothing that I'd ever say 100% that's a spaceship. But what do you think, if you really have to put your hand on heart, Rich, what do you think they are? What's inside them?
Hey man, I don't think anything's inside of them. Either that or it's an intelligent robot. Like a cyborg type of thing. It's half alive, half robot, maybe some percentage of either or. But I think it's that to make the maneuvers it's making, unless there's that gravity bubble around it that's protecting it. If there isn't one, then I would think there would have to be some sort of machine that can withstand those G-forces. But the reality of it, I think they're ours. I think it's from private corporations made from UFOs, back engineered. That's it.
The
just
physics
us.
side of it,
Maybe.
side of it does worry me, because
I know.
when you look at when we invented trains, for instance, like I think the first time we put people on trains, people were worried that if they went over 50 miles an hour, people would fall apart.
Right.
They were worried they couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Every time we've made technological advancements, we've thought it's going to turn us to soup. I see no reason why we couldn't have engineered our way around that somehow. If we can, if we can do what they can already do, I feel that the technology to stop you turning into dick soup would be like a byproduct of what you'd already learned.
I always go back to aliens. Sorry to interrupt, but just the abductions. How do you bypass those experiences and say there aren't aliens? It's really impossible to do with millions of people being abducted, unless it's our government doing it and drugging us up.
They have to be connected.
You're right. Yeah, maybe.
I'm much more ready to believe that there's something else, like interdimensional, in the same way as we look at biblical demons, like as a nemesis type creature that isn't fond of us. I'm much more ready to accept that than something traveling billions of light years away from what seems to be a fairly dead space.
See, I don't think that the Tic Tac, for it to be ours doesn't really seem to make sense to me, because one, we don't have the physics to do that, and if we did, that the physicist who developed this, who figured this out, is just giving up name recognition throughout history. I mean, his name will go down in history like Isaac Newton, like Albert Einstein, like any of these guys. And they're just, we're just going to be quiet about it and not, I just don't see that happening, because it's such a big deal to be, I mean, those to do something like that, you're achieving something on a whole different level. And that is like the goal of every physicist and every scientist, to get their name, to be a part of history. And for them just to say, we're not going to say who developed this, and we have this technology, then also to use technology, like we're sending out our battle fleet to Iraq, and we're going to test out a new piece of technology against our own people. Like it doesn't make sense that any of that would actually happen. I just don't see it. Like and then to have that's the most advanced part of our military, when our aircraft carriers and everything are going out to war, and they got something that's just totally whooping their ass, and they have no idea what it is. Like, why wouldn't we have transponders on it? And when we do fly secret aircraft, other people are briefed into this. They're told, like, hey, they're testing something, just so you guys know, this area is going to be restricted or whatever because we're testing some, they'll admit to them that they're testing stuff without them being able to know what it is. So it's not a big deal for them. So I don't see why they would just hide it from themselves, especially, and then put it into an active war zone with our military, which is just doesn't make sense to me. And then beyond that, the mathematics and the physics alone, we can't even describe what the Tic Tac is doing. Like it goes beyond our equations. Like our equations start to break down. This thing's traveling at speeds that we can't comprehend. It's going from 0 to hypersonic in an instant. It's has the ability to cloak, and I mean all kinds of crap. It's just it came down when they recorded it. It came down from 80,000 feet to 50 feet above the ocean in less than a second, in less than 1 second. I mean, to think that we have craft that have that ability, we simply just don't have it. It just doesn't exist in science. I mean, think about that: 80,000 feet to 50 feet in less than 1 second. I mean, even our best materials, even titanium, all that stuff would just totally collapse. It would totally just break apart at going at speeds like that. And then just to be able to stop on a dime, it's just not possible with any of the technology that we have today. I'm sure we have secret technology. I'm sure we have advanced. I know for a fact we have advanced technology that the rest of the population doesn't have access to, but not that kind of advanced. Not breaking the laws of physics advanced.
Thank you, Lantoni. I appreciate that. What was you going to say, Lee?
I was just going to say, to back up what you're saying there, the reason we're not using nukes on each other is because too many people have got nukes. So you've got the whole mutual assured destruction thing, haven't you? For one country to have technology like the Tic Tac, I feel if it would, let's just say it was the American government that had it, we would all be living under the American empire.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless everybody's got it. And then essentially it's, well, we don't know how good your Tic Tac is. China's might be better. Russia's might be better. Indians got one. So maybe that would be a reason to keep it covert, because no one's sure which anti-gravity technology is better.
That's an excellent point.
Everybody's shaking the Tic Tacs at each other.
Yeah, but they could also, you don't want to let anybody else have it, because you can crash it into buildings and do some serious damage at 13,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, but with that kind of technology, if you made that breakthrough, like you said, you can rule the world with that kind of technology. I mean, there's nothing that can fight against it. Yeah, no one can fight against it. And so you simply say, we have this weapon now. It's just like we did with the atomic bomb or whatever. It's like, now this is what we got. So you do what we say, or face the consequences. And that's what every military would do. They'd be more than happy to say, look what we can do. Because it's better to let people know this is why you don't want to fuck with us. All right, because we have this. And it's just like our F-35. We can go ahead and show it off and let people know, hey, blah blah blah. This is what we have. You don't want to fuck with it because there's not another aircraft that can take it out. I mean, this craft can destroy every one of your fucking aircraft. So you just don't mess with it. So they're proud to show it off. And they make it a point so no one else gets a hold of it, even going and rescuing it from the bottom of the ocean. But, they just they'll be happy to show it off. They just don't want anyone to get a hold of it. And having a technology like that, that's a game changer.
I do think we have you guys have covert technology that's more on a grounded level. Just look at the helicopter they used to take out Osama bin Laden. That crashed.
Apache.
Yeah, and
it was a Black Hawk, right?
Black Hawk.
No. You look at the picture of that, the tail assembly of it is something completely different. It's something it was a big thing at the time. It crashes into the wall and you can see the tail sticking up, and it's not something that's on your military list at all.
Yeah, it is. It's the stealth Black Hawk. It is a part of our military list, and they put that stuff around it to actually dampen the noise of it, around the tail and stuff. Yeah, so that's actually it is something that is in our military, in our
Right,
inventory.
cool.
And they know about it. And, you know, they just don't want the enemy to get a hold of it. So the first thing they did was fucking destroy it as soon as it crashed.
Yeah.
And it even shows that, you know, our shit's not that advanced because our badass helicopter just fucking crashed, you know, on its fucking way to come in and do that fucking raid.
So Jennifer here says we're only thinking in third dimensions. So I can't get my head around these dimensions.
Yeah, there's 11 or something, right? There are 11 dimensions apparently.
Well, that's what they say with advanced string theory or actually M theory. With M theory, they have 11 dimensions, and so advanced string theory, I believe they have 7 dimensions, and then M theory has 10 dimensions plus 1, which so technically is 11.
So how could they have all different?
It's a mind.
It's just frustrating.
It's really
not that smart.
You see, I'd have had to complete school to understand all that sort of stuff, but I do get the whole dimension thing. Like this could be living in a parallel to us almost, and it's almost like it's coming through from nowhere, from an alternate universe or whatever. I'm down with that. You know, if you're down with aliens, if you're down with ghosts, if you're down with Jeffin, there's possibilities of these things being robots from another planet or whatever, then you've got to think maybe I'm down with dimensions. I'll take anything right now. I don't think anybody. I think everybody's guessing. I even think some of the top scientists are probably guessing and just coming up with theories of this. But I want to go back to what Lee said earlier about we've never trusted the government before. Why the fuck would you trust them now?
That's what I said about Lou. Why trust somebody from the government? All of a sudden, now we're changing everything overnight?
Yeah. To me, that seems... I know you said you're not a conspiracy theorist, Kyle, at all, and I'm not either, other than I did do some Mars videos way back when. But does it not seem a little strange to you, this whole thing? You don't trust TTSA, but this guy worked with TTSA. We've just been talking about that prior to the show. So why trust him away from TTSA, but we didn't trust TTSA? But also you did say that, to give you credit where credit's due, you did say that Tom DeLonge did a good job, but you wouldn't invest.
No, because I don't see a return coming back on my money. That's all. That's what has to do with, you know, finances. You know, I'm just talking about making money back. If I'm trying to make money, I would have rather invested in Google or Tesla or something as opposed to TTSA. You know, but what they're trying to do, I've always supported. I think that they did a fantastic job, and as opposed to, you know, not trusting the government. That's, you know, I've never really been a part of it. Sure, of course they fucking lied to us, but I don't think there's a bunch of dudes in a fucking dark room smoking cigars, like, you know, like, oh, look, you know, let's all fucking lie to everyone so they don't find out the earth is flat, or, you know, or some bullshit like that. Just fucking, I don't think there's any dude, you know, like, I just don't see a big conspiracy, you know, I just don't see it. Yeah, it seems just so, yeah. You know, I think what Lou said is true, that they were like, okay, let's try to, you know, go and research UFOs. And the only reason they did that is because you had somebody like Robert Bigelow coming in who donates money to the senators, and the senators put together this program for him as a favor to him because he donates money to them, and they got him government contracts, and, you know, to go and start a program like this. And you know, so it wasn't even really the government that started the UFO program, or ATIP or whatever. It was more like Robert Bigelow got them to start it than anything. So, and that's more because of his fascination with UFOs as opposed to because you know, there's a big conspiracy, you know, going on. Yeah. So there's just, I just don't see it. It could be, it could be. But I'm just not that into conspiracy theories. Like, I gotta have evidence. I want to have proof. Show me the science to it. Show me, and if I see something that's beyond science, then I have to go. I have to go with that, and especially my own experience. Makes
it. Kyle, let me ask you.
Sure.
What did, other than make the conversation of UFOs get to mainstream media a ton? That was a lot of Lou and TTSA. What else have they given to ufology towards disclosure?
Well, I mean, they got Congress to actually have a discussion on it and to have a report put out.
No, can't say discussion. We already know that.
Well, they had the UFO report put out. They obviously, Congress has the full report, which is a couple hundred pages. We just got the 9-page, slimmed down report. Yeah, so they have a much larger report of their investigation into it. They got money, allocated for a UFO task force to investigate them. They got the military to change their views on UFOs. In fact, it even changed the acronym to UAP to kind of get rid of the stigma of UFOs, and so their pilots and other people felt comfortable to report it, and instructing their people that this is important now, that this is not a joke and it's not to be laughed at, but it needs to be taken seriously, that you need to report any weird thing that you see. I think there's a bunch of stuff that they did for ufology that was really stuff that we've been wanting to have happen for a long time, and it just finally came to fruition.
Rich, welcome, my friend. I wanted to get you on because I know you've got some of Kyle's interest at heart there as well, and it's always nice to see you, knowledgeable man. Kyle, Rich, Kyle.
Hey, Kyle.
I believe these two have already met. We've already met each other.
Yeah.
All right, chaps.
And both Dick and
What's
Dick.
up, mate?
Dick and Dick.
Hey.
Hey.
Two dicks. All right.
Two dicks,
Rich,
one addict.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just asking Rich, what do you want to add to that? What we were just talking about, TTSA and
yeah.
Kyle, by the way, great answer. I thought, because I didn't mean to cut you off, Rich, but I meant to say thanks to Kyle because I forgot about getting the pilots able to report. That's a great thing without feeling like they're going to lose their job or fly a desk. So that, and what was the other thing? They
got money allocated for the program.
Right, for UAPTF or I thought they changed the acronym. It was to eliminate the stigma within the military, but isn't that UAP just a military term for our UFOs? The public still uses UFOs.
Correct, but if you notice, when you see they're doing a report on UFOs, whether it's the 60 Minutes report or whether it's on Tucker Carlson or whatever, they're always using the acronym. They're saying
because they're only talking about military stuff.
But when they say UAP, they speak about it scientifically, and so it seems like it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't see people laughing about it as much when they use that, when they say that on camera. They're not like, oh.
Right.
Was it UAP Hillary Clinton trotted out
many years ago?
Yeah. See, when someone like that starts trotting things out first, I start to trust things even less.
She said it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
she did, and my thoughts are that it was going to be her that was going to be driving it all, and Donald Trump beat her into the White House, and I think TTSA was the reaction to that, personally.
But they were involved anyway, weren't they? Because when Podesta was speaking to DeLong, it was during the campaign, wasn't it? With those leaked emails that came out.
Well, that's right, and Podesta was there while Obama was there, so this was a Democrat thing. It does look like it was that. I think things have changed since Biden's got in. I think it's a very different Democrat government from the previous ones at the moment. Looking from the outside, it looks to me definitely. I'm not sure they're quite as receptive as previous governments were. But,
third phase,
fingers crossed. Yeah.
Third phase said that UAPTF, which did turn into the AOIMSG office, is no longer transparent and not going to be. They're still gonna, report annually to Congress, but it's not going to be transparent anymore. Sadly, that just came out a few days ago too.
I never thought it was going to be transparent. I just assumed,
it was supposed to be.
And it's like, did anyone honestly believe that they were going to be transparent with it? Like,
yeah,
I never saw that coming. Like, just with the UFO report that they gave to Congress, and it was like theirs was like a couple hundred pages, and ours was 9. So, I never saw them.
So we can't trust anybody in the government.
And that
so
also
that just
sounds
leaves
like
Avi, then, doesn't it? At the moment, Avi Loeb, MIT.
Avi Loeb, yeah, but Luis Elizondo, Mellon, Nick Pope, and others are in there now in the Galileo project, and that frightens me a lot.
Yeah. Is Mellon still employed by the government?
No.
Right. Well,
he's not.
So.
No, he's a former undersecretary of defense.
Isn't he in? Is he in Congress? I forget.
No,
not a senator. No, he's definitely not that. That's right.
No, he's just a former, undersecretary of defense. That was his old position. He's out of the government.
So I believe he knows stuff about on UAP.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. He was definitely briefed on a couple things about it, at least.
By Greer. No, I don't know if that's true.
Well, see, for Greer, it's Greer. Is the one doing the briefing. Okay, let's get that straight.
No, he's not.
It's Greer's going. This is what Greer's saying. He's going around and he's like, I had to brief the head of the CIA. Like,
I think he's just giving them a booklet or something, and hopefully they deliver it to the president.
He's sitting there saying, he's like, I'm debriefing. They're asking me to debrief the president. Motherfucker, you're not debriefing anybody. Shut the fuck up, dude.
I know Tom DeLonge got that booklet.
I love the idea.
Oh,
Tom
DeLonge got the booklet.
See, I think Greer.
Sorry, go on.
He was in his mid-50s there, I think, right? Mm. That's like 10 years old now, isn't it? That picture.
He was looking good.
No, I have not dated it.
That's
not
funny.
Fake. Big guy.
He is big.
A lot of work there. I like the hair going under the nipples.
Looking good.
He's 6'5", I think.
Sasquatch.
He's a tall guy.
Sasquatch.
So hey, I brought this up the other day on my channel. Let me bring it up to you guys. All right. What if UFOs aren't built? What if they're not constructed somewhere else? But what if they're grown?
Whoa!
With the DNA of the pilot, and it's grown like a plant, or like penicillin in a petri dish or something, where it's actually grown. So it's a part of them, like their arm is, and so it's it's the craft functions and moves just like you would move your arm. That's how you get the craft to move, because it's actually grown from your DNA and stuff. Think about that one,
dude. That's freaking original. I've never heard that ever.
Anyone remembers Farscape?
Farscape.
Yeah. I don't care. I never heard it. That's cool.
Yeah, I never even heard of Farscape. What's that?
Farscape?
Yeah, it was a cult Australian, I think it was, sci-fi
It's worth
show.
Watching. Look it up.
Good.
Farscape. It's
really
Farscape.
Good. Farscape. Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but I never actually watched it.
The Leviathan was a organic ship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard of this before that that some of the ships are symbiotic with their pilots and stuff, and I heard like that. So I'm like, I wonder if when Bob Lazar said that the entire craft, like the sport model, looked like it was injection molded, like it was all one solid piece.
Yeah.
I thought, well, wouldn't it be interesting if it's like when we grow crystals and stuff like that? Like, what if the entire ship is just grown like or like a plant or something where it all comes out as one piece, like when a human is born, we all come out as just one solid piece as opposed to being put together. I thought that'd be interesting to see if UFOs could have gone with that same kind of concept. That how do you create a craft that's linked to the pilot so well that it can do all these crazy maneuvers, and as opposed to trying to fly it, that it works more like a limb than it does trying to use a steering wheel or something.
That's Matrix shit. That's just like the movie The Matrix.
Where
he can fly. He's a program, really, right? They're all programmed, but he's became one with the program in the real world, the fake world. And I wonder if that's some sort of something similar. That's why they can move so fast. It's like nothing to them.
Right?
Yeah. It's almost like slow motion when they're going 20,000 miles an hour, really.
Has anybody debunked these hypotheses that keeps getting pushed around about lasers? They use lasers to light up plasmas.
Oh.
And then you can just point it and it looks like it's gone off because it's burning bits of the atmosphere.
What's
that
this?
That would show up on infrared as well.
I would.
What are they saying? Like, I've never even heard this before. That they're trying to fake UFOs or something, or
yeah, fakes,
like blue beam
fakes. Yeah. The whole idea is that they.
Okay, there you go, Lee. There you go, Lee.
They go. They use.
You've got Lee excited now, Rich.
It's plasmas. That's what I heard. That's another popular hypothesis of what these are. That it's some kind of fake UFO. It just looks like a UFO because it's light, and they use a laser to ignite plasmas.
Well, I've had personal experience with UFOs up close, so close I could have touched it. So I'm like, I don't understand how, and like it doesn't seem, like, oh yeah, let's go and fucking manipulate Kyle, like,
I'm not talking about it as a thing that I'm putting forward. I'm just saying that this is what people are talking about, and it's something that we should perhaps consider and either accept or chuck out. So we could all have a look at something like that.
So are you talking about the light sail, the photon sail thing?
No. These are it's like it's they take a laser and they fire it into the air, and it basically it burns the air.
It excites the molecules in the air.
Yeah, and you get a glowing orb.
Have you seen videos of this working, Rich?
Yeah, I did see one on YouTube. I'll have a look, see if I can find it.
Is that the one that I played on my? Does anybody know about that thing that was throwing out air?
Right. No, I was watching that. That was fascinating. But you know what? It occurred to me. It looks really good.
A video for a long time ago on quantum UFOs, man, with those exo vehicles or whatever, like the first style of fucking drones or whatever.
That's right. Yeah. Cool stuff, man. Yeah.
They didn't look as though they scaled up. It would have worked very small, but whether it works for a 30-foot object, I don't know.
You would see the laser. Welcome to the show says, wouldn't you?
I would think so.
You wouldn't. Not on IR, but you would
not
see the laser.
Infrared. But then at the same time, how do you, the laser, like it would just keep going until it dissipated. to get it to stop at a certain point, it would have to be like a plasma beam or whatever, for it to once it got so far, it would it becomes incoherent no matter what side, just, and this is just based on the diode and the circumference of the size of it, man. It's just a law of nature that it will only go out so far until it, until the beams become incoherent, or the photons become incoherent, and then the light becomes incandescent after it reaches a certain point, after it reaches a certain distance.
Yeah, for sure. It'd wear out or fade out.
These plasmas as well, would they wouldn't be able to track a piece of a laser, would they? They wouldn't, if it was on it was hitting the air.
It'd be a heat signature, though, wouldn't it? They'd be tracking.
Yeah, but there is no heat on the gimbal.
Correct. In fact, the gimbal's cold.
Yeah.
Group.
It is. Wait, isn't it?
Oh no, the gimbal's hot, and then the air around it is cold.
I thought something like that. I don't know. Now,
am I going to get into trouble for this, Rich?
not
Don't
if
think
you,
so.
No.
No,
Why?
Probably.
Like that.
Oh, you're asking the other Rich.
Hang on, let me find
Oh,
it.
that's
Let me go back.
Brigham Young. Yeah, you should be okay.
What
That's
is
what
what
MUFON
is
does.
what is the link? I will put the full link in the description for this.
They are
Send me a
tiny.
Look at
Okay.
that.
That's
Right.
wild, isn't it?
What the frig?
Disclaimer: this is for scientific purposes, people. So there's no copyright here, and we're not playing any audio.
We're gonna. Oh, why not?
I think you're stretching the definition of scientific purposes if we're talking about it.
Look at this experiment as opposed to a laser producing a UFO in the sky. It seems doesn't seem to really
Look at that.
make
Oh,
sense.
that's insane.
I suppose it depends how far advanced you think military technology is to consumer technology.
Look at that.
Oh my!
That's so cool.
Cool.
I fucking love Star Trek.
Well, TV. We're gonna have hologram TVs.
So it looks like more like they're making little holograms than
Jeez.
as opposed to a plasma or a laser creating an exciting a plasma ball.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, this looks like little holograms.
Yeah. So what they're talking about really is some people are extrapolating these and saying that the military might be having them on a much larger scale to confuse people. This is what they're talking about here.
Ruby.
I don't think I would be
Ruby.
fooled by that.
Yeah.
Even if it's bigger and scaled up, colored, and all that.
But how would we know if you're just seeing something in the sky?
Well,
you're walking down the street, all of a sudden you see this big
Sure,
glowing
but
thing in the
that
sky.
explains literally like 1% of UFOs then, so
Agreed.
maybe that explains lights in the sky, but then at the same time you're like, okay, so do we have these lasers set up all around the world, which we have light spheres are spotted all around the world, like
You've got Starlink
just the
satellites
logistics of it doesn't
all
seem to make
place.
sense.
But I mean, I think the thing is, wouldn't necessarily discredit UFOs as in a whole as one thing. But if we're looking at the Tic Tac videos with a bit of skepticism, then that I could take it. If this was some sort of plan, as in a blue beam sort of thing, then the Tic Tac videos and the mainstream media coverage it's had would be a good foundation for that. Especially at the time, what makes me more skeptical about it is the time it came out. When the admission came out, when everybody was sat at home, when everyone was sat in front of a television, and I found it so strange how nobody cared.
That's because all we could pay attention to was Donald Trump. That's he was the most interesting thing ever, and so no one gave a fuck about UFOs. We were just worried about what Donald Trump was tweeting. That's all.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Wouldn't that be the perfect time to put some groundwork in?
yeah, it is.
Just to say, is it like when someone it was like
It makes sense. Like,
subliminal
we're
information.
not going to make a bunch of noise now because, or like we go ahead and bring it out, and then that way people aren't really paying attention, and so we can look back and say, "Oh, well, we told you guys, you just weren't paying attention." That's all.
Or
Yeah,
there's
it makes
a
perfect
bigger
sense,
plan.
actually.
Or there's a bigger plan for it afterwards.
Lee, do you think if Hillary had have got in, it would have, the subject would have changed?
I don't know. I've got some views on that whole situation with Hillary, where I think would have been a much worse situation than we're in now.
But do you think that was the whole? Are you saying that?
I don't think she was going to be like the disclosure president.
We would have just started 4 years sooner from where they started, right? Or no?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. They went ahead with it. TTSA with Trump.
I think they went ahead with it because Trump was in office, and they're like, "This is the time to do it." Fucking, we can go ahead and release it, and Trump will probably be cool with it. Fucking Hillary Clinton probably would have kept it all hush hush as well, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think Trump give a shit about the UFOs.
Exactly. That's why it was like the perfect time, because like Trump's president, he don't give a shit about it. Let's bring it out.
True. Yeah.
I think there's so many
other way,
psyops. I think there's so many little psyops happen, especially around election times, because we whether we like it or not, if you look at election cycles and you look at rallies and things like that, they're essentially little miniature psyops, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to convince certain people to vote in a certain way. I think the letter, which you can't say on YouTube, anonymous, was a psyop from the Trump side to engage a certain part of his voter base, which would keep them energized and keep them voting for when it came to it. I have no doubt that even though I'm not saying like the UFO base could swing an election, but I do think that maybe somebody spoke to Hillary Clinton and said, "Look, a lot of people believe in this. If you can get these people on side, that's another chunk of votes." Especially if they look at conspiracy theorists as being like mainly the opposition. It's not so much you're taking votes that would swing an election, but you're taking votes that would normally go to the other people, maybe.
I wonder whether all this is about this current level of disclosure is not really about disclosing anything as much as it is maybe about removing a certain layer of bureaucrats from the Pentagon. If they've got a ton of people in there who are sat pretty and are opposed to a certain agenda, they can mobilize UFO Twitter, get offices in. Key people might lose their jobs if they're found out to be negligent. It doesn't happen to be that they are sitting on anything, or they might be, but the threat of being negligent might cause some people to jump ship, or at least be pushed.
Could be.
Quite possibly, mate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't rule anything out when it comes to governments, but when it comes to the subject of UFOs, and we all seem to think, we all have a feeling of what the answer is. I actually think that every single one of us, even the guys like maybe not Bob Lazar, because if Bob's telling the truth, he knows his shit. If he's lying, then he's a fucking good liar.
He's a very good liar, yeah.
Thank
you. Know what? You know what?
Bob Lazar, there you go.
I think you guys give the government way too much credit. I don't think they're that smart. I think you guys think they're a lot smarter than they actually are, dude.
Well, they've had to cover up a lot of stuff over the years.
You know, and they've done a terrible job at it. We found out about all these cover-ups they've done. You know, it's like, fuck, dude. I just don't
unless
think
there's a load you haven't.
You know,
unless
don't
there's a
give them
load
that
of
much
stuff you
credit.
haven't.
Well, to give you some idea of how rough they can be, you know, during Prohibition they actually poisoned alcohol, so that if bootleggers used it in people's gins or things like that, it would kill them. And I think they killed about 10,000 people, it's estimated, during Prohibition by poisoning alcohol.
Well, I think during Prohibition, a lot of alcohol was poisoned just because of the way people were making it, manufacturing it. When it's being bootlegged,
it was intentionally poisoned.
Like the government, why would they intentionally poison it instead of just get rid of it?
Look it up, mate. It was intentionally poisoned.
But what I'm saying is like, why would they intentionally poison it as opposed to just getting rid of it like they were? Like, why would they be like, oh, well, who's supposed to sell it anyway?
No, this was when they were manufacturing things like surgical alcohol and stuff like that. Then people would put that into a normal drink to enhance.
Oh yeah. Okay, no, I know what you're talking about. All right.
And they used to add poison to that.
Yeah, and they still do stuff like that to stop people from going and taking stuff and drinking it, like rubbing alcohol and shit like that. You know. Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They do that. So they're like, okay, we need to stop people from having too much of it. Add a little bit of poison, just a little bit.
Yeah.
They won't take. They won't. Yeah. A little lesson.
People.
Soon some fucker dies.
Meths is a good example of that, isn't it? Meths is a good example because meths is odorless and flavorless, but they add the purple coloring and the taste and smell, so you don't drink it.
Yeah, definitely.
What is that?
Methylated spirits.
Yeah.
Meth?
Methylated
spirits. Rich, that's what I heard. Did they say meth?
Yeah.
Methylated spirits, which is kind of like a blue liquid that you can use for cleaning. It evaporates very quickly.
Okay.
You European fucks, you have no idea what the hell you guys are talking about.
It's like a colored turpentine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just realized the English is outnumbering the Americans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Huh?
The English, for once, is outnumbering the Americans on the channel.
but not in IQ.
No, we do the same thing to like antifreeze over here because it's odorless and tasteless. We add color to it, and so people don't want to fucking drink it or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like propane is also the same way. We add a fucking smell to propane.
True.
Because normally you don't smell it, but we add a smell to it just so people know, oh, it's leaking. You know.
Yep.
Yeah. Same with our natural gas. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I can see like what I mean, that's but that's not really a conspiracy. Like, it's not like the government set out to intentionally kill people.
Yeah.
It's not like there's a mass murderer in the government. Like, I got an idea how to kill people. Let's poison fucking alcohol and it
did though, didn't it?
But not like that. Like not like they were intentionally like, I want to murder people. That's the difference.
Like
well,
fluoride?
you say that, but in America they definitely tested chemical weapons on their own people.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but
What about fluoride?
yeah, they did, and not only that, they tested chemical weapons on certain ethnic minorities because they believed them to be more resistant to them.
What is he talking about? I don't know.
Meth.
I wish I could remember because I know what you're talking about. I know the.
I didn't
thing,
know
but I
that
can't
we.
remember.
Yeah,
So
I know we did within the government.
1 second. YouTube
All right.
knows what we're talking about. So
All
just be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Okay,
We're
this
on
is
a close
all
line to getting alien
researched
addict
up.
destroyed.
Well, look at the to go by. I think look at the what's been admitted that happened during the MK Ultra.
Yep.
That was some fucking horrific things that happened to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think we tested like chemical weapons like on our own people, like trying to fucking Like, what did we do? Like, when did this happen?
Like unsuspecting citizens?
Well, no, not unsuspecting. What they did was they actually took a load of people from the military and told them, guys, we're going to be testing chemical weapons on you.
Well, they did that with the bombs too.
We still do that today. That's nothing new. We still do that. That's nothing new.
Yeah, so that's not. Yeah, I thought you were saying like what's his name?
Like Saddam Hussein dropped.
Thank you.
Yeah, like that's testing chemical weapons on his own people. Killing thousands of Kurds. With mustard gas and stuff. It's different than us testing our chemicals on soldiers.
Right. Yeah, Los Angeles today, we had another test of the Black Plague. Yeah, it only killed 5,000 this weekend.
Yeah.
We'll try again next week.
A lot of mustard gas testing.
Can I just put this question out there to all of you now? When it comes to, because Fravor's been everywhere. We've seen him on pretty much every single UFO channel at some point. We've seen the Lou. We've seen fucking loads of Lazar way back in the day, and Lazar's back in the picture now. But not anymore. But when it comes to this Tic Tac and what we're hearing from the military, the eyewitness, and I said this to Rich ages ago. Me and Rich spoke offline about it, and I think we've both spoke on the channel, on both our channels about it. When it comes to Kevin Day, and the guy, I probably, God bless his soul.
Is that the radar specialist?
It is.
Okay. The one that's a little bit of a mess because of this. That doesn't sit well with me. I know it doesn't sit well with Rich. But we trust in these people, everything that's coming out and they're telling us. We've got to trust that. We're putting all these trust in these people from the military. But what if they've been paid to say a certain thing? What if that? Because if you're in the military, you may get a position where your mission is to kind of like deflect, or if there's something that the enemy sees, this whole Tic Tac thing might be there just to kind of deflect something from your country.
Well, what kind of argument is that? What if they are all in on it? Well, what if they're telling the truth?
But I'm going to go back to Kevin. I'm going to go back to Kevin Day. There, the guy's a nervous wreck.
But what if he's telling the truth?
Why is Kevin Day a nervous wreck from reporting his UFO findings?
No, because nobody believed him, and he knew
why
what he
would
saw.
That make him a nervous wreck?
Some I thought about that.
It could fuck with you. I mean, like it fucked with me at first. When you see something.
Why?
And you want to tell people, you want people to believe you, and when people don't believe you, it fucking frustrates you.
Okay, surely if he's going to be trained to be military trained, and all of a sudden nobody believes his UFO story, he's going to fall to pieces.
Right? Yeah, I get it. That's the point we were talking about 2 weeks ago.
We spoke about it ages ago. Me and you, Rich. We've constantly gone back and forth.
Yeah, like this guy's supposed to be trained to, control his emotions and not get so distraught over tracking an object for 7 days and not being able to tell anybody. He didn't tell anybody for 7 days. He saw this thing trailing them, and he said nothing. That to me is real strange. I don't like that.
Well, a thing is that a lot of times he was, these guys see it, and him himself all included. A lot of times they think it's the equipment, and they actually went and recalibrated all the equipment. So he's sitting there seeing it. He's like, oh, it's just a phantom trail in the equipment, and it needs to be recalibrated and stuff. Until he kept seeing it, and they recalibrated equipment, and then he saw it even clearer. And then he's like, oh, this thing's actually here, and now we got people in the air. Maybe we can go and take a look and see.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened. Because at first he saw it and he thought it was just a fault in the equipment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then they went and recalibrated the equipment. And then the image came back even clearer that it was definitely something there. He's like, oh, well, shit.
But for 7 days he said nothing to nobody, so he must have recalibrated it himself then.
Yeah, after a couple of days, he kept seeing that, you know, these
7 days. Yeah.
the marks or whatever, the tracks on the radar, and then finally, he, you know, he was like, "Hey, listen, can we, you know, talking to the captain or whatever of the ship, he's like, can we send out people to go look at this?" Because he kept seeing it, just didn't say anything, but he didn't think it was a big deal until, you know, he kept seeing it. He's like, finally, well, we have someone in the area at that time. We can, you know, do real world tasking and send craft over to go investigate. So let's see if we can.
For
He might not
Kevin
have been
Day,
able to even do anything, you know, at that point.
yeah, but for Kevin Day to lose his mental state and get addicted to alcohol and drugs and stuff like that, lose
That's
his
not like an
family.
excuse.
No, I was going somewhere with that. What if he was threatened, like severely, and he couldn't tell anybody that, and that's why the guy was so distraught? He must have seen something nobody else saw, maybe. And we just don't know the whole story. Because why would he get so distraught?
Yeah, it's a good question, and not only that,
Thank you.
the thoughts are
Thank you.
that with all of this, if somebody's suffering from something like PTSD, surely the military have facilities and support for people that are going through all of this. So it's not that it's not an important issue. It's why hadn't he received the support for that if he was suffering from PTSD or any of the other issues that could come from that? You know, surely the military, especially the US military, have good support for that, unless it's been withdrawn because of what he saw.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one, though.
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, at the same time, I think he could also be, you know, playing the system so he can keep getting paychecks for the rest of his fucking life. You know, fucking. You say, "Oh, you guys gave me PTSD, so you're going to need to pay me now," or, you know, I mean, there could be a number of reasons for it. I don't see why it would cause him such distress, but I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he was threatened. I just thought of
But
it.
right, I'm not saying this is what I believe, but while we're putting ideas out to why he would act like that, could you imagine how stressful it would be if you were one of the people that was selected to tell a lie to the world, and you happened to have some morals about you?
see that, you know, I mean, I
Truth's
just
protective
stuff
layers.
like that. I just can't see, like, when everyone's let's all get together and lie. I can't see it. I just don't see it.
Kyle,
You
you
know?
can see what I'm saying. This he's made it to a radar guy. That's a pretty. I know that's a very high up role. Because my best mate who's been on the channel, he's a technician that fixes aircrafts. He wanted to be in the radar, and he couldn't get the job because he didn't pass the tests for that job. That wasn't the actual his IQ or anything like that. That was they didn't think he had it in him to do that fucking job. And he's my best mate, and he now works in the RAF base in Scotland.
Ma!
So
That wasn't your mum, was it?
I'm gonna
It was.
I'm gonna use this one that Corbell put out, but this is just his little red dot fucking radar here. So a radar operator, yeah. This is not the Kevin Day one. I don't believe.
That's the Jeremy Corbell one.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I
It
don't.
is.
Was it?
Oh,
was this
you don't. No, that's from the Russell.
right? Okay, so Kevin Day's got a radar in front of him. He sees some stuff on there. It makes him. He's this little screen seeing a few dots. I don't care what those fucking dots were doing. I don't care if they were doing handstands. That makes him have a nervous. Watching that screen makes him have a nervous breakdown. Turn into an alcoholic. Lose his job.
Where are you going with this, though?
That's not a traumatic experience, is it? Looking at a screen like
exactly.
What
You're
happened
absolutely
on
right.
that screen to make him how he is now. Because
He
you
was
look at that
great.
guy, I want to give him a hug.
He does look sad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
what I'm
think-
saying. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I
No.
think he's full of shit. I think he's using it as a fucking excuse because I'm like, how is that going to cause you to freak out? I just don't see it. Like, how is that going to happen? But
Then he's a really
maybe.
good actor. So what is it? It's like if he can fake that, then he's like genuinely acting.
Yeah, Kylie, you just said it. You just said you saying this guy is just playing on what he did see, but he's just wanting to become a little bit famous by crying and
Yeah, maybe oh man, if I can get people to feel bad for me, maybe I can claim PTSD and then I can get a paycheck for the rest of my life from the military. It's just something
Okay.
he's playing off his experience. Not that the experience was a lie or anything like that, but just like he's like just using it to his advantage is a possibility. I'm just saying, because I don't really see how that incident is going to cause such a traumatic, but to tell you the truth, I didn't even know that he, like lost his shit over it. Like everything I've seen on him, he's just been normal, and I didn't even know he lost his shit over this. Like I had no idea that
Badly, very
Yeah.
badly. He lost his family, got addicted to drugs and alcohol. Couldn't see his kids. It was awful. For about 7 years, he said he was just down and out. And then he saw on the TV that somebody was talking about the Tic Tacs that he saw, and he contacted somebody and gave his statement, and he was like feeling better, and he got recovered.
Rich,
Amazing. Sad.
Rich, can I just clarify, Rich? Did
No.
he say this because of because of what he saw on the radar?
I'm sorry, I was thinking of something funny. What?
Did he say that his life went like that because of what he saw on the radar?
No, and yes. It's because anytime he wanted to get answers to what he saw, he got stonewalled. And then he tried telling it to his family and friends, and nobody believed him. They thought he was a little nuts. And he's like, but I'm not nuts, man. He shouldn't have been talking about that. But I don't think he signed an NDA. None of them did.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the report on just the specific Tic Tac investigation? Have you guys seen the fucking full report on it?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Dude, I'll send you the PDF to it, man. It is fucking awesome, dude.
Okay.
Like they go into real detail about everything that they did with tracking the Tic Tac and everything, like all the characters, all the they go into everything, really detailed into this. I think it's something like fucking 60 pages or something, dude. They really go into it, man. It's really cool, dude. They're talking about the radio signals they're picking up from it, just all kinds of stuff, dude. It's really cool.
Wow.
Then you really see why this craft is not ours. I mean, I think that PDF will really change your point of view on when you see all this stuff, all the data and they actually show you the data logs and everything on this report. You got to see it, dude. It's really.
I'm surprised
I'll
I
send you it.
haven't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool, dude.
Okay.
It's just specifically the one, just the Tic Tac event.
Yeah.
Is that one that was done by the university students? The ones where it showed the G forces and the amount of power that they estimated?
No. This is all
No.
this is the military investigating it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So the report is a military report on the Tic Tac. So they have all the information, everything, all the instruments, all their readouts, and all the data logs on everything. So it's really cool. It's fascinating.
A month after the Tic Tacs were seen, in 2004, I captured a UFO fleet over Phoenix. Tic Tacs. I called them white dots back then, but they were just appearing out of nowhere and caused, they made the little designs, geometric designs, and also, what do you call it? The Big Dipper and Orion's belt. That was amazing. Yeah, but, could have been balloons too, right?
That's fucking awesome, though, dude.
It is,
That's really cool.
The video's 23 minutes long. It's unbelievable, and it stems from something that happened the night before when I said, I hate this ufology. I was just new into it, and 6 months, and I said, it's just stupid. I'm catching one thing here, one thing there. They're either this, that. Why don't they send me, you know, like show me designs or show me a constellation. Who are these things anyway? So the next day I go out and I quit, and I didn't plan on ever doing any research or anything again. I happened to look up by habit, and I saw something in the sky reflecting the light, and then I saw these dots appearing, and it was like 30 of them. So I ran and got my camera, aimed it up, and recorded what I saw. But the weird thing about it is, the night before, I said, why don't they show me a constellation? So they showed me 2. And then I said, what are these things? The last thing they showed me was 9 objects forming a question mark.
Wow.
And one of them was, I wished I would see something, and one of them formed what looked like a genie's lamp. Like 3 wishes. So it was almost like, you know,
God.
freaking amazing. That I was hooked ever
cool, dude.
since. It's a really cool sighting. It should be the best one of all time.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
It is fucking awesome.
It's fucking awesome.
It is. It really is. And there's something else going on in that where you see all these white dots. Now, 7 years after I've recorded this, we got a big screen TV, right? In high def, because that was the thing to get. And a friend of mine came over, and he noticed something, and behind the white dots, there were black dots. And they were, you actually see this, they were moving independently back and forth, and oh my God, I've been trying to get it up on my channel forever, and I'm so freaking lazy. And I got everything ready to go except just doing that, so maybe I'll do it tomorrow. It's a really cool sighting.
Yeah, that's cool. I want to see that.
Yeah, you definitely do. You'll be like, dude, that's real. It might be Tic Tacs. In 2004, a month after they saw them on the Nimitz. Why not? Arizona's right next door. They could have been just cruising over.
Right?
Going to New Mexico, maybe.
You know, that's another thing. It's like in Mexico, they have all these, you know, fleet UFOs. Like they see tons of fleets, you know, and then that's exactly what the Nimitz saw was a fleet, like
yes,
a ton of them jumping out of the sky. And they were appearing 80,000, 100,000 feet in the atmosphere and then floating over towards Mexico. So I'm sure that whole fleet went over towards Mexico and probably got filmed. I bet you if you look up a flotilla in November of 2004, I bet you'll probably find one in Mexico.
No, there was.
You know?
Don't you remember the Mexican one where they were flying and they see and everybody thinks they're the oil wells in the ocean? But don't you remember that?
Yeah, I
that's
remember.
The FLIR footage.
That's the FLIR footage. Yeah, I'm talking like a one from like you know, where you see all like the white orbs in the sky.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I bet you they probably have at least one person has a video of a fleet UFO like that coming over in November around the same time as the I should look that up. It has a Nimitz encounter or whatever to see if there are any flotilla UFO videos from that exact date.
A little history. I think I might be the first person to capture a UFO fleet over the United States.
You showed me that. It's a great video.
I don't know anybody else who did. There was a guy named Ed Sherwood. I don't know if you remember that guy. But he was really popular. He caught some fleets in California, but they didn't look right. They didn't look the same, that's for damn sure. Yeah, and balloons don't go as high as these things were. You have to see it. You'll see it. Tomorrow.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I want to see that.
Maybe Monday. Nah, next week. April 1st.
Not next week. Yeah, you just keep putting it off.
Right. It's going because it'll only take me an hour to get the whole thing up. I know. I should have done it 2 years ago.
Yeah. I know how that is, you know.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I still have video UFO videos that are freaking awesome. I even have an egg-shaped UFO really close.
What are we doing?
I'm just keeping that to myself. I don't know why. I got really cool UFO videos.
You should, yeah.
Get that egg. Release it. Release the egg.
Dude, I have some fucking awesome UFO videos. I have some awesome ones I've already posted, but I have even better ones I've never posted. And every time I go to post it, I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep it. I just fucking chicken out.
I'm gonna send mine to Third Phase of Moon. Is it? Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Channel? Third Phase of the Moon, I think.
Well, that's the proper way to say it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, those guys have been around since 2008 or 6 or something. Yeah,
something like that.
they
Yeah.
got some really good stuff on that channel. I think they're twins who run it, like movie
No.
producers. So they're
No,
probably
no,
fake.
it's just one of them, and he just clones himself. It's
Yeah.
fucking special.
Oh, it's all it's
You don't see them both at the
CGI.
same
It's
place
CGI.
at the same time.
I honestly think there's only one. There's only one of them. Yeah.
There's only one of them.
I actually met them, and it is only one.
There's only one.
There's only one. There you go, Kyle. This one's for you. Who's Bob Lazar? Turkey. The turkey sightings. You love Turkey.
Oh, Turkey's awesome.
I do love Turkey, but that's for history and stuff, as opposed to the Turkey UFO sighting. Unfortunately, I debunked it.
What is it you said? What is it you said that Turkey is the
You debunked it?
Yeah. The Turkey is the cradle of civilization, not Iraq, but the very first civilization started in Turkey. A long time before
Okay.
Sumeria. Like, I think they're wrong when they say Sumeria is the first civilization. I think they're wrong by 7,000 years.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I mean, everything always leads back to Turkey, dude. For some reason, everything always, I don't know why. Motherfucking Turkey.
Interesting. What do you think about the Turkey UFO sighting?
So the Turkey UFO sighting, that used to be my go-to video. That was
Right.
like, this is, I'm like, if you want proof, this is it. And then I decided, I'm like, so I should really try to debunk it just in case I'm wrong. And I thought this after watching the videos several times and noticing that the video, there were some peculiarities about the video that I didn't really trust.
Mm-hmm.
How the craft never moved. I put it into some editing software to stabilize it, and I realized it is completely stable, like 100% stable. It doesn't move nothing. All of them, none of them in any of the videos ever move even a fraction.
Okay.
None of them do. And I'm like, that is really odd. I'm like, that nothing, like not even a single movement of all of them. I'm like, it's almost like it's a piece of land. It's so still. And because of where I lived at the time, there's a bunch of hills like where I lived, and there's a bunch of windmills that had red lights on them, and it really reminded me of one of the Turkey UFO videos where it shows some red lights, like before the craft or whatever. And I thought, what if what they're seeing is actually a windmill farm? And I found exactly where the video was taken from, and went on Google Earth. I could do a line of sight. They have it mapped out, like what direction where the craft was from where the video was taken, and it's over the Sea of Mamar. And then as you travel with Google Earth over that sea, you come to a mountain area which is full of windmills.
Oh my God!
And around the base of each windmill is a bunch of white rocks and stuff like that. And every single time they have one of these UFO videos, it always just happens to be on a full moon. And I believe what's happening is that the full moon is reflecting off the rocks, and you're seeing the crescent because the windmills are put up on top of these hills. You're seeing a crescent of the mountain itself, and not an actual craft or anything in the sky. And it's just because he had a camera with like, I forget what it was, like 16 times optical zoom, and then it had like an electronic doubler on it, so he could do like, I don't know, something like 80 times a digital zoom or something. But it zoomed in really far, but nothing seemed right about it. And so when I looked over there, I could see that literally where he was seeing from with a camera like that, with an electronic doubler, he would be able to, no problem, to see across the sea to the mountains. And during a full moon, it would light up the rocks around these windmill hills. And just the lights, like it shows one where it shows a UFO and it's a bunch of red lights. But I'm like, those red lights look just like the windmill farms. And it just so happened there was a windmill farm directly where the UFO was seen. And the fact that they weren't moving, it was like he was filming a piece of land, because when you put it into stabilization, you know, in the editing program, it didn't move at 0. I mean, I've never seen that with anything. You know, so I was like, it's unless you're looking at a piece of earth, the only movement that it was caused was always by the camera 100% of the time. So and then when you see stuff like, oh, there's it looks like aliens and stuff in there,
Yeah.
a lot of time I'm like, that can easily be explained by you're zooming in. So all you're doing when you zoom in electronically, you're just doubling the pixels on it and just enlarging the pixels. So I mean, it really explains like why it would look. It could look like anything. You have pareidolia. You're looking for aliens. That's what you're going to see. You know. And so.
And their heads would be enormous.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, 30 feet across.
I mean, you know, these things would have been giants because you got he was zoomed all the way in. So zooming all the way in like that, you know, the UFO, the aliens, their heads would have been fucking 40 feet in diameter. You know, it just didn't make sense of what we were seeing there. And so unfortunately for me, I was like, this is I had to backtrack my statement, and it broke my fucking heart. But you know, that's I'm like, what's it? You know, that's what happened. So it doesn't mean UFOs are fake or anything. It just means that just on to the next one.
Lee, I want to ask you something here.
Just quickly, I just watched that while you were talking, and you know the
oh, you've just watched that UFO clip?
Yeah.
Can we bring it up on screen? Is it copyrighted? Can we show it?
You can show it.
So I'll
you can show stills of it, Ollie.
Bring it up, Lee. Yeah. Thank you, David. Thank you, David, for the super chat. I appreciate that, my friend.
I'll pop the link here, the links in the chat to the
Double
YouTube
D
video.
with £2, £2.
But because I've seen that loads of times before. But with you talk about the hills, as soon as you said about it being stabilized, that's what I was looking for. And then when you can see that V shape, it really does look like that shape's being made by land, doesn't it? All of a sudden, it's like it seemed obvious when I heard you say it.
What V shape do you mean? There's no V shape.
Of the what makes the bow of the craft is what I mean.
Let me see. Bring this video up, Lee.
Because it goes like this. It's like a hill.
Yeah. That's what I mean. But
like a that's
what I mean. You
okay.
can see it makes the V shape of the craft. Looking at it now.
Gotcha.
I lost you for a second. I'm sorry. What were we saying, man?
No, he was calling shit about you, dude.
No, as you were explaining it, like it was like one of the magic eye things when someone explains to you something that you don't see.
Can we bring it up? Can we bring this up?
I've stuck it in the private chat for you to the YouTube video, mate. At least I think
share screen, you twat.
No,
well, you should do it, Ollie. God,
I know.
You're the host.
I've got to do some shit, haven't I?
Do something, dude.
Is this? Oh, is this that? This is the ship thing.
Yeah.
This is the ship, isn't it?
It's bullshit.
This is the ship.
Yeah, I don't buy that ship one.
I always thought it was an upside down boat. You know, because it looks like it could be. But it isn't. Sadly.
Yeah, I've seen this one before. This one, didn't someone debunk it as a? Was it Mink West that debunked it as a ship?
It's a private ship.
It starts with something else, that video, and then later on it goes into what we were just talking about. I think there's two on it.
Oh, okay. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen and not the stuff that I was looking at this afternoon when my wife was out shopping.
Spending your hard-earned money.
What, Ukrainian refugees.
Oh, by the way, Rich, the UFO bros can't make it tonight.
Yeah, I was wondering. We were missing something. What happened to them?
Yeah, he had to help his brother out.
Oh, come on. They chickened out because I was here. That's what it is.
If you're watching this, bros,
they're watching.
Get yourself on. I actually didn't know that you two had a...
We didn't. I don't even know them, but they were in my chat room telling me to calm down. And I didn't know who they were. Actually, they're really nobody, to be honest with you. 500 subscribers on YouTube.
That makes no difference, Rich.
It makes all the difference in the world. I've asked 6 people, and nobody knew. Nobody's ever heard them. And that's everybody.
I mean, here we go.
Oh, home movies?
Why am I watching children?
Why don't you fast forward that shit? Hurry up!
Look, wrong
There we
link,
go.
wrong link.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no,
It's the
yeah,
MUFON link.
it is the right link. He zooms in.
And those children turn into a fucking spaceship.
Is this this is not this is a
Stupid.
this is the ship, isn't it? This is the ship.
That doesn't
Yeah,
look like
that's
an
a boat.
island or a
That
mountain.
looks like a boat. It does look.
Right. Looks like a capsized boat.
This is already been debaked.
Yeah,
It
see, I
has?
think this is the crest of a fucking hill.
Oh, I see
where-
what it is now.
It's like the very, very top, the very peak of a hill. In fact, if you go across the bay on Google Earth, you can see these white patches are actually white patches of rock that are around the windmills themselves. So you can't actually make out the windmills because it's too dark, but the moonlight is fucking reflecting off of the ground around it.
Oh.
So that's why you can see just the crest of it.
It's
Do you know what this
beautiful.
reminds me of? It reminds me of that one where the aliens are walking round.
It is that one.
It is that one? Yeah, yeah.
Is it where the aliens?
Yes. Well, not
Where are
yet.
they?
It's a long clip. You got a ways to go there, Chief.
You would have.
And it was also over a few days or a week.
It was,
or
it was over a few years.
Oh, shit. A few years, Ollie. I just found out. I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah, some of them are like 2006, 7, 8.
Oh, man. I must
You
have
see,
forgot.
if I was filming aliens out at sea or whatever, and I could see them walking around, I would turn the camera around on my face and say, "Have you seen these fucking aliens? You know, check this shit out."
Yeah.
You know? And look at my face because this is me. I found this.
Right. So this-
Aliens.
What is this we're looking at? Does anybody know?
Nah.
Is this the sun setting or rising, I mean? It's 4:25 in June. That looks like the sun rising to me. Right at that time, of course. I remember that day.
I remember that day. That's right, dude. That was a nice, clean morning. I remember that.
It was beautiful out. You were there. I saw you.
That's right. I was there to watch the sunrise.
Either that or... Yeah.
Here
I
we
do,
go.
yeah,
Here we go. Get some alien head here. Sorry, I came out wrong. Again,
No.
that came out
We all like alien head.
wrong. Sorry, Rich.
Yeah. Is this what we're talking about?
Yeah.
You see, that to me looks like the prow of a boat. It actually does. You know, the little bit of the front.
It does. But what are those aliens
Again,
doing?
it would be moving if it was a boat, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and when you put it in an editor, you find that it doesn't move even a slight, like even a pinch of a little bit, nothing.
Even looking at this here, you can see that's his hand movements, and it's
Yeah.
it's perfectly still. It's a perfectly still object that his hands are shaking around.
Mm-hmm.
He's zoomed in.
It's
way
simple.
in.
His buddy owns a yacht, yeah? He's zoomed in on the yacht, and his mate has bought a big alien head mask. He got him to walk round.
Now that's just silly, Ollie.
It is. The things people do.
It's not like that guy that put that alien head in his back window.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah, that's well, should we say his name? Stanley Romanek?
Oh, you just described my channel.
Sorry, bud. You can
I'll
have
talk.
GUFON Lives if you want.
Are you not allowed to say old Stano's name?
He's a nonce, isn't he?
Stan Romanek.
Yeah, this
Oh,
loads of
right, I
Michael
didn't
Jackson
know.
Oh,
videos.
you mean the Star Seed? Oh, okay, yeah, him.
Yeah, the pedo. Starseed.
No, it was the
That's what he
government.
calls himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
That
shame
guy
it
was
wasn't
great.
just stars he seeded.
Oh!
Oh,
I have another joke in there somewhere.
I'll give him this. It's a long clip
Oh, this is ours.
to
Yeah,
fake.
dude, he's got like
It's-
a I don't know how, and it goes over a couple of years too. So this is like one video.
How stupid is this guy to not know
Oh, here we go. Let's fast
that
forward a
that's
bit.
land out there? It's land,
I think he eventually realized it.
Yeah, probably. It hasn't moved in 5 years.
The UFO's been in the same location for fucking years. Now this is different. I think this might actually be a real UFO, just like an orb of light, you know. But these are different videos as opposed to that supposed craft.
Yeah, they've edited this. This video's been edited to move.
It's like you try to fucking take the orb light and then edit it right with this fucking thing to like make a connection, but that's not the case.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah. What a shame.
Always somebody. All they need to do
Just
is
one
edit.
fucking spaceship. We're not asking for a lot.
Yeah, give us one.
Too much.
Just one.
Just one spaceship. That's all I want.
They did, and they gave it to Billy Meyer, of all people. Joking. Hello. Give it to
This
the guy
guy's-
with one arm and no brain. Nice.
This guy's completely saying everyone will believe this man.
Do you see the one Billy Meyer? He had like the fucking alien ray gun.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
It's like a fucking toy gun. Like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, really?
Maybe that's what fucked it. It's all real. The aliens came down, they met Billy, and they said, "Take me to your leader." And he was just crazy enough to go, "What a coincidence. That's me."
I want the leader. What, you know, I am the leader.
Kyle, what did you make of the? We spoke about this many times on the channel. The
Flare.
the Corbell footage of it going into the water.
Of this orb one.
Oh,
You know, I mean, it's interesting. It's it's okay. You know, it's pretty crappy footage. Can't really see anything of it. You know.
And Corbell's red dots.
Oh, you know, I've seen some stuff like that. So I mean, that's not too bad. That's kind of cool.
airplane.
Yeah, no, don't think I've ever seen this video before.
It's
Airplane.
Corbell's.
Anything by Corbell is easily explainable. Or you just say it's not UFOs, because that's Corbell.
Do you see them moving around at all? Those lights in the sky or anything? Or
No. And the flashing of those FAA
Rich
lights
like,
are...
no, they don't.
No, they don't.
They don't fucking move at all.
No.
Well, they're moving, but they're airplanes. They're going about 180 miles an hour, and they're flashing at the same interval pace as FAA lights do on the regular airplane. Mick West proved it.
Oh, Mick West is fucking so stupid.
Stop. No.
Fuck that guy.
No.
Yes.
Yes. No.
Mick
like
West thinks
Mick.
he can debunk every fucking thing, dude. You know,
I
It's like,
know.
shut the fuck up, dude.
Hey, but he tries at least, man.
Hey,
Nobody
he
else is.
tries, you know.
He reminds me of me when I was his age.
I think Mick
I used to
West
do
is
all
your
the-
age.
Don't worry about it, bro.
He's 27.
Thank you. Actually, I just turned 44.
Do you think Mick West is just like literally clutching at straws with the debunks that he's doing with the gimbal footage?
Oh yeah, dude. Well, like when you think, like, look at it, dude. Like, you're telling me that these guys don't know a fucking another jet? The ATFLIR system, which can target and fucking identify every single aircraft out there, it doesn't know that it's looking at another jet. Like, really?
Mick West says the pilots could be mistaken.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course they're fucking mistaken, along with the fucking fleet of UFOs that they're seeing as well. Like fucking like these guys, they're like, oh, it's like you're telling me like they couldn't tell another fucking fighter jet, like their radar doesn't understand that or something. Like, come on.
Dude. Honestly, I think that whole thing was staged.
No way.
Yep.
I don't see it.
Yep. How
Why
come
you
we
think-
never saw the fleet? I want to see the fleet. Don't you think they would have said, all right, let me turn towards the fleet, but no, let's just follow one.
Right?
Stupid.
It's like I want to see that footage of the fleet. I bet you they fucking have it, dude. They
Of
just
course
haven't
they
released
got it if
you
it's
know?
there. Yeah, man.
They haven't released it.
That would have been
You
really
know?
good, isn't it?
Lou's got it.
Yeah,
You've
Lou's
seen
got
it.
the 23-minute one.
Is this one that there was a rumor going around that Lou was showing some video to the people that he was appearing on the show with? Did you hear that?
What was that? Can you repeat that?
Lou was there was meant to be a rumor going around that Lou was showing another video to people when he visited their channel privately.
Yeah, we looked at that the last time we were on, right, Ollie?
No, I think Rich is saying privately. Like, there's another one that some of these people have seen and kind of given their Lou Scouts honor that they won't show it or won't record what they're.
Well, didn't Rogan say that as well on a podcast? That there was supposed to be, but he was told that there was going to be a high def video of a craft released.
Yeah. See,
He was told that. Are you serious?
he
said it on one of his podcasts that he was told. He said, I don't know, because he mentioned it on one podcast, then a couple of months down the road it came up. He said, I don't know where it came. He said, but I was told that there exists a high def video of a craft that was going to be released.
23 minutes.
Yeah.
That'd be
Of
cool.
high def. Yeah, 23-minute high def video.
I'd like
Never
to see that.
happened. Never happened. We don't even get 23 seconds of anything.
Yeah, right.
Like high def is what I mean, you know?
Yeah, I know Lou said that he saw footage of a craft that was only 50 feet away. You know, like that's what I'd like to see then.
Apparently, Lou's going around showing people footage like after live streams and showing them things behind the scenes.
Yeah, someone mentioned it was the cube inside the sphere.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it the sphere inside the cube?
Oh.
Then you would just see the cube.
Here's the thing here.
yeah.
Must be like a tesseract.
So I don't know how true this rumor is that Lou's been showing some of the co-hosts some secret footage. But that if Lou is like, you know, I'm not gonna break any fucking.
Indeed.
I'm not gonna do that. I guarantee he's not gonna show some UFO channel.
Yeah,
Some crazy UFO footage. That is not gonna happen.
Not
think
on
so.
air.
You know,
It's not gonna happen off air.
And
not
it's
gonna
not. Yeah, you know how after StreamYard you can still talk to everybody for as long as you want. That's
it
what
ain't
he's
gonna
doing.
happen after
Yeah,
StreamYard.
I don't see him doing
It
that.
is happening. It's real.
So okay, let's talk about that. So you're here.
No.
We are talking about it.
Damn it.
See whose channel is this? Who said this?
From what
Why
I
can't I
understand, it
speak?
was on the Fessler.
Yeah, it was a man and a woman, wasn't it? That came out and said that Lou hadn't.
Josh
been
and
on
Artemis show.
Yeah.
I thought Lou didn't go on there.
Yeah, he didn't go
No,
on
he
that show.
didn't, dude. But they know somebody, I think, who's close to Lou, and they're saying this to them, and I don't know if it's in confidence or what, but I mean, I should know about it then.
I guarantee if Lou has signed these and he's a man of his honor, he is not going to show it even after a show to another channel.
I don't
Not a
think
chance.
these are
This
NDA.
screen you don't think? Sorry, Rich.
I don't think these are NDA bound.
Then he
Okay.
probably would have just put them out.
Well, that's
There's
what people are wondering. Why hasn't he?
Well, because I don't think it's true. I mean, like, I don't think
No.
he has it, like, showing people this, you know? It
I
just
don't
sounds like
know.
a rumor, you know? It just sounds like a rumor to me.
Right,
Unless
you
it's
guys
laughable.
do. You guys do live streams and stuff like that more than I do, and I'm not the most tech savvy guys when it comes to using computers on the daily all the time. Do you guys know the shortcut for screen grabs?
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
if that was on, you would at least take a screen grab of it.
I hear you. Unless everybody signed an LUE.
Maybe. Yeah.
They signed a Lou.
You could do that, yeah. I mean,
I don't know. But that's what I was thinking. Somebody just screenshot it.
Even if it's just a couple of frames of something,
Yeah.
If it was something so remarkable.
I think
think
it was the thing 50 feet away from the pilot, the cockpit. That's what I think it was.
That'd be cool.
Or they could just film it on the phone,
Right?
Like the Batman.
like I just did. You guys
Maybe
talking
we-
just
yeah.
then.
Maybe
Yeah.
we've got to wait. This is just a little bit of get Lou's book. It's another piece of marketing.
That's interesting.
I find that interesting that Lou, if that is true, that is very interesting. That little bit of like, here, I'm going to give you a little bit of something to get you in that.
Yeah, I don't see him doing it. It just don't make sense, you know. But who knows?
See,
It doesn't.
I sit in the middle, but if that's happened, then I'm with you, Rich. I'm with you, Rich, all the way. If that has actually happened, if he's done that, and he showed them stuff off air, then I mean, definitely 100%. And I'm pretty much 90% in your court when it comes to Lou. There's that 10% that I want to trust that little man. Big man.
I want to trust him too, man. I just don't trust anybody. That's all. I don't hate the guy. I just, there's some things that were said over the years that are no longer being spoken about, and it's weird. But the narrative seems to have changed now to that these aliens are, we could possibly talk to them with our mind, and we're also worried about private corporations getting this stuff, and maybe they could overtake the government one day because the technology will be better than what the government has. So they're afraid of these private corporations that are back engineering these craft or come up with the new technology that they're going to break away, take over. I mean, you never know. I mean, that would make a government scared.
Rich, we were saying before the show, before you actually came onto the show, I think it was still live, and I'm not blowing coke up your ass because that would make it numb and you prolapse. But I think you'd do a great Lou interview. I think you would. I think both me and Kyle said I think it would be very respectful.
Yeah, it would.
I don't think Lou has anything to fear from going on to GUFON.
No, honestly, he would get the respect as if he was my parent sitting there. You know, I would never treat him like a dick.
No, I told you, Ollie, exactly. Like we were saying, I was like, I don't think Rich would be a dick at all. I think it'd be really cool to see fucking Lou come on his show and do an interview. I think Rich would be totally cool with him, dude.
And I never have done that to even people who have mistreated me, like Kevin Pass and other people, and I just were very, very nice to them. So I think, and plus I know if Lou was to come on my show, he's taking time out of his day to make it for me and my fans. And that's, you get respect for that, to actually talk to somebody who doesn't think the same way, 100%. I mean, there's some things I agree with, but not all of it.
I saw him live earlier before I went
the UCR. Sorry.
Yeah, what's that stand for?
Unidentified Celebrity Review.
Yeah, that's the one. I saw him on there, and I was doing things at the same time, like washing up and going in and out of the living room, but I heard something, and it sounded I kind of walked into something, but it felt, well, I thought what they were saying is that he is stepping away from it and doing no more interviews.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I heard something about that.
What? Really? That sucks.
Because everywhere he goes, apparently I'm the one who's going everywhere he is. So he said he didn't mention me, but every time I go on a show, this guy's there talking about me the next day or the same night, and it's just like, come on, dude, give it a break already.
So he's doing no more interviews.
Yeah, it's all my fault.
When's his book out?
In a few weeks. Because he's getting ready to go. He just did all of his practice runs on all the little podcasts. He's now groomed and ready for mainstream media.
No, but Lou, if you're watching this now, that for you to say I'm not doing any more interviews now, your book's out next month.
At the end of April.
It looks a little.
He's done a press tour.
Yeah, the junket. He went on the junket. That's what they call it. Nah, but don't you? He would still be doing it. I don't know why he would stop now and then now relax for a month. It doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Plus he started out on mainstream media.
I know, right?
Depends on what's in the book.
Well, he's talking about it on a lot of these shows. What's in the book?
I think even the Lou Doubters are going to buy this book. You know, Rich doesn't even read, and I don't, and I will buy the book and get my wife to read it to me at bedtime.
And I'll listen in on FaceTime.
Like, I'll get the audio version of it.
That's what I'll do too. Yeah.
I hope he's not doing it.
Right. Yeah. Well, you hope he does.
Kyle, you seem to think that
No,
the man himself that is in the centerpiece of this thumbnail of the video is responsible for the hatred against Lou.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm
Why is
responsible.
that?
Well,
No.
well,
Stephen, Kyle thinks that
Mr.
Stephen
G.
Greer is
Oh,
responsible.
right. It is. Yeah.
yeah.
Not
Even
me.
Rich said it is. But it's not like I'm just making this up. Even Rich knows it is.
Well, he.
you know,
Sorry. Go ahead.
Greer hates the fact that these guys came out and they get put in the media and not him, and it drives him fucking crazy, dude. He cannot fucking stand it. He hates it so fucking bad, dude. And it just trickles down from there, dude. And it all comes back. Greer just hates this, dude. He hates the fact that these guys get the attention and he doesn't, man. And that just drives him up the fucking wall, dude.
Oh, so he jumps on their stardom. So he doesn't fall off to the wayside, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like he's pissed off. Like he's like, hey, I started the Disclosure Project. It should have been me up there on all this fucking media, and it's you fucking guys, you know. I started the Disclosure Project. Like his fucking Disclosure Project, like what he wanted to happen, they actually got accomplished. They actually got the real Congress to fucking vote on it and all this shit. Whereas he just had a mock fucking thing set up where he actually paid the fucking retired congressman to come in and shit like that. Like he had a fucking fake thing and they actually did the real thing, and it just drives him fucking batty. Like he hates it, dude. He can't stand that these guys get all the attention and he doesn't.
Did you hear that from him firsthand?
No, I just personally know. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he told me this. We're best friends.
Duh.
He was fucking crying to me while we were sleeping together last night.
What the hell was he doing at your place, dude?
He was
supposed to
with
be
me.
at
I
my
was
place. Two-time in Greer.
Fucking Greer. He's just so muscular and strong. I just love it when he just holds me in his fucking arms, and I'm not that I'm gay, but he just makes me feel so comfortable. You know, I'm just safe and protected.
He's a bear.
He's just a big old pet bear. I just love when he just holds me in his pecs and he just flexes, and I just love it.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Very good
I'm
security.
here.
Oh,
I'm
smell of
here.
real
I'm
man.
Greer. Get used to it.
If you think Steven started this, though, I heard this from Rich before Greer.
Me?
I only heard that Greer had a problem with Lou probably a year ago.
Well, yeah, because of Third Phase of Moon.
No, but you've had a problem with Greer not with Greer, with Lou for
Well,
pretty much day one.
from day one, yeah. Because it was government. And I said, I don't trust anybody government. I don't like this threat. And Greer was saying it too. They're not a threat. Well, he talks to him. I don't, so he may know.
But do you think Third Phase, that's the reason why they have a problem with Lou, because of Greer, Kyle?
Oh yeah, they know that's what I think. I straight up fucking told them that's what I think, dude. I'm like, I just, I mean, not that they'll ever come out and admit it. Not that Greer would ever come out and admit it. Not that they're saying, hey, go and talk shit on my behalf. Okay, not that that's happening, but just to fucking, to try to fucking kiss ass to the fucking people on top. It just fucking trickles its way down because he can't fucking stand. Like, he's always talking about yeah, like all these guys in the fucking government, and he's literally talking about fucking Lou himself. So he just, if you just go and watch the stuff, you'll see he just can't stand Lou. He can't stand any of these guys and what's happening with TTSA, and that's why he'll put out everything to try to talk shit about these guys and try to put them down and make them look bad. And that's just what he does, dude. It's plain as day to me. I mean, you see it in all of his videos, dude. Like, where he just talks shit about the government and these guys, you know, especially like lately, like within like the past year or two.
Who, Greer?
Yeah.
He always does, but he's got a reason to. When you see Above Top Secret, you'll understand why too, because he talks about some things he's never talked about before.
Oh, I'm sure he has, but I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Above Top Secret will be just another fucking thing of, you know, just hating on Lou, you know, saying that the Tic Tac is man-made and shit like that. Just, you know, and it's more of just his fucking theories. Not that they have evidence to support any of that, but just more speculation. You know, on fucking just that's all it is. It's just purely speculation. That's all they're doing. They don't ever. He doesn't have any evidence. He's not bringing forth some kind of evidence to support what he's saying, other than him saying, "Oh, this is just what I'm saying." You know, just here you go. And so you just agree with it or you don't. Not that he's like, "Well, I got this to back it up." You know, it's not like anything like that's coming out. So
it would be interesting to know whether TTSA and all these revelations that have happened since 2017, whether they've had a good effect on Greer's business model or whether they've taken money away from it. Because the UFO community is quite a small one, but obviously with the TTSA revelations, you know, it's become a lot larger. You got UFO Twitter and all of this lot, but surely Greer's got some fallout from that in terms of some people will turn to his stuff and buy whatever he's selling. You know, so is this good for him, or is he lashing out because his business model's suffering? You know, that would be
that'd be interesting.
Does anybody know about that?
Shit, I have no idea.
I mean, what does he do? He does weekend seminars for his CE5 stuff, doesn't he? And he's got an app for CE5. What else does he do? Anything else?
I gotta get going, Ollie.
Oh, you gotta get going. When's your show, Rich?
Well, I scheduled it for an hour and 23 minutes from now, 9:30 Eastern.
You go prepare, Rich. People go check out GUFON in the description. It's got a show in an hour and 20. What's it about?
It's not about Lou. Even though the thumbnail has him sitting on the can.
Lou.
That's what it says. This show is not about Lou. I don't know what it's about yet. You'll see. But thank you for having me on.
No, it's fine, mate. I'm going to end the show anyway soon because we've been going on for over 2 hours.
You want me to wait around?
You can wait about, yeah. Gosh, can if you want, because I'm going to end anyway.
All
right, Kyle.
Yes.
What are you doing next? You got some. You're gonna start going live on UFO Proof more.
Yeah. You know, I'll probably be going live later, and you know, and then you're supposed to come over and host a fucking show on my channel too as well. So
I will. We got to get the times right.
You know, and I got some videos I should probably just go ahead and put the fuck out. I keep putting it off, dude. You know, but yeah, that I'll probably do that sometime soon. You know, at least I'll show you guys. You know, anyway.
Have you got something coming up this week?
Yeah, I'm working on fucking putting out the videos that I have, and I just keep fucking putting it off. I just don't want to put them out. I'm just like, oh man, you know. But they're really cool. I mean, you know, I should put them out anyway, just so you guys can see them because they're fucking awesome. So I'll at least try to get one out.
Go check it out in the description. Lee. My lad.
Hey, check my podcast out, Musty Audio. If you don't get through all the Ollie's shows, you can listen to them as well at a later date. Follow me on Twitter @TotalShunt.
And you change your name every 2 minutes on Twitter. I can't keep up with it.
Yeah, but the username's always the same.
You want to get me and Rich and Modern Militia on at the same time?
I would like that. Yeah.
Yes, that's going to happen very soon. And that we'll speak with Rich after this. But Rich and other Rich, thanks for joining us tonight. Good night. God bless people. Mind the bugs don't bite. It's been a 2 hour and 8 minute show. And I don't go any longer than 2 hours and 9 minutes. So good night. God bless. Mind the bugs don't bite. Keep those nipples hard, people. Male or female, whatever. You've both got nipples. Good night. Oh, and support the channel. Thumb it up, you know. There's a Patreon or a t-shirt to keep them nipples covered.